It's the first link in the description. So please go ahead and do that. Next thing I wanted to share is this spectacular meltdown of a Tim Walz, governor of Minnesota, who, of course, disappeared from the spotlight amidst all the broad controversy, just to come back and say this about our law enforcement, our ICE agents.
Chris, this is about normalizing. That's what they're trying to do. They continue to test and they continue to push, and then they back off and then they come again. It's about feeling normalized that this is what we have. Look, I think many of us got used to TSA after 9/11. That was something new in airports. Many of us were used to seeing, military-style police in airports in Europe and Asia. We weren't used to it in America. Now they're trying to do this same thing. Like, this is a normal thing. This is not normal. These guys aren't doing a damn thing. They weren't qualified to be here in Minnesota. They're not qualified to be at the airport. And they are dang sure not qualified to be anywhere near a polling station. But I would be absolutely shocked if he is not already making plans. I mean, Democratic states are seeing this assault. We have the most secure, fairest elections.
What an uneducated dipshit
It's ironic
statement.
that we had this most secure, fair elections when his party literally pulled this kind of crap just recently, just this week. Like, we're not even going to have according to them, we're not even going to have a fair
How freaking rich, huh?
debate
Holy crap.
in California because of these little crybabies. So the fact that Tomas is doing that is just super ironic.
Yeah.
Also, Tomas, I don't know if you're looking at the news, but people...
To remind you that 60% of sales on Amazon come from independent sellers, Jess from Planetary Design pours 60 cups of coffee for 60 adventurers.
Sure, lost count.
Shop small business on Amazon.
I'm Steve Ballmer, former Microsoft CEO and a basketball fanatic. But more than anything, I'm a data guy. That's why I created USA Facts, to bring you unbiased and...
Actually, really do love having ICE agents at airports. They're saying it makes them feel more secure. It's helping the lines move faster. And just this week, I showed this video of an ICE agent saving a baby. They saved their life because the baby was unresponsive at the JFK airport. And you're just not seeing any Democrats talk about this. I wonder why you're also not going to see Democrats talk about how the ICE agents are actually moving towards helping people scan their luggage and their IDs. So they're not just, like, so many Democrats, like Keith Jeffries, are saying, oh, these guys are just sitting around doing nothing. And it's like, no, they're not. They're not just kicking A and saving lives. They're actually helping travelers move along faster. Like, look at this. It is just undeniable that these guys are working for the people, and anyone who says otherwise, they're just straight up lying. Now, here's when things get much, much darker, and I thought this was just really shocking, but a volunteer who worked for Elizabeth
It's like
Warren is
Burger
now
King or
out
McDonald's?
publicly, loudly,
6 or
chanting death
7.
to America. It is so dark.
How does a 21-year-old political activist go from volunteering for Elizabeth Warren
Yeah,
and
right.
private causes, chanting death to America and Iran, and ending up on a U.S. government watch list? This is the story of Callum Walsh.
Margbar America, Margbar Israel.
Just a few years ago, Walsh looked like a typical progressive activist. The Boston native was even featured in the New York Times for shaking up Democratic politics in Massachusetts. She volunteered for Elizabeth Warren, promoted climate causes, and organized with the Democratic Socialists of America. But today, Walsh is reportedly on a U.S. government watch list because of her ties to the Cuban and Iranian governments and her connections to organizations designated by the United States as terrorist groups. And most fascinatingly, her radicalization is played out largely in public. Over the past 5 years on social media, Walsh moved from mainstream Democratic activism to openly praising militant groups and calling for violence against Israeli officials. This October, Walsh relocated to Beirut, where she's now a contributor to Press TV, an Iranian state-run outlet sanctioned by the United States. There, she's become an online amplifier for Iran and Hezbollah, posting propaganda and rallying her Gen Z audience behind what Iran calls the axis of resistance. After an Iranian drone strike killed 4 American soldiers earlier this year, Walsh mocked the dead online, writing that they died fighting fascism. Her family in Boston told the Free Press's Jay Solomon in a statement, "We love Khaled deeply, but we have serious, fundamental political disagreements with her." Walsh's story reflects a broader concern among counterterrorism experts that foreign regimes and extremist networks are actively recruiting young Western activists online. Over the past few years, Walsh traveled repeatedly to Cuba and was linked to a network of wealthy radical organizations like People's Forum and Code Pink, and she shifted from democratic politics to revolutionary Marxism. Some U.S. officials tracking her trajectory say it echoes earlier waves of Western radicals who
And then, towards the end of 20th century, the French Republic went down again. Mob rule is not the solution. Anarchy is not the solution. Solve the problem. Being against things, being anti-things is not enough. You need to be pro things. Being against what this guy called rulers is not enough. Being against dictatorship is not enough.
What's that? Oh, when they were talking about that, yeah, with the ICE agents and TSA and all that, 6 or 7, Burger King or McDonald's. What did we mean by that? All right, so people agree we need more security at our schools, at the airports. What sources or forces are you going to access? Are we going to use police, retired police, veterans, ex-military, all these CIA and Secret Service members that are causing more problems than they are helping? How about that? No, they're too fucking crazy. Okay, so which forces do you want to use? Right, so there's just been arguments about this funding over the years and people kind of wanting to cherry pick who's going to patrol their neighborhood or their schools. It's ridiculous how they have been fighting over these things, and in the meantime, between time, the innocent people that are just getting tossed around like they're not even people. It's insane. And the level, the job duties that a lot of them have to perform, getting paid such small wages in comparison to people doing nothing, like literally just sitting there fucking reading a prompter, causing more problems and bringing more hate and debate into our communities. Yeah, it blows your fucking mind. It's so maddening. And then when you try to shed light on these things and people play fucking stupid, crazy conspiracy theorists, if they're angry at all, you got to protect yourselves from the angry mob. Yeah, it's sick and it's disturbing and it's disgusting. So yeah, 6 or 7, we all agree we need uniforms, right? Yeah, but not from those people. These guys make better uniforms. Hold on. Well, what are we going to wear while you guys argue about that? Okay, hold on. We got a third party over here. You guys want to come in with your third party stuff and give them something to wear while we decide what's going to be mandated? Right, and in the meantime, we'll make a bunch of ridiculous mandates that pisses them off even more. Don't worry, just the ones that are really sick and can't handle it will die. Come on, shoot up, kids. Look, we can handle it. We had to work to get to where we are. People don't know how to work these days. Yeah, I don't know, but all I know, for one thing, is hopefully the proper authorities here in Augusta, Maine, do what they're supposed to do to help these kids. No, we understand very well what's going on, and it's disturbing to us, and it's amazing that we haven't checked out long ago like others did. And we understand why, and that's sad. And these things should be addressed and talked about, and how these sick, nasty fucking people and drug traffickers and people associated to some of these communities and families who have been heavily hit over the years with the fundraising and the investigations and the easy access. You know what we're talking about. People were trying to shed light on this back in the early 2000s. And people just jump on board the theories and analyzing. It's like foreplay, nonstop fucking foreplay that people are profiting from. And they use these situations and these peoples and these families and ties to cartels or schizophrenics, dangerous people. Because those are the ones that you're allowed to impede upon more, right, for your investigations. We know this. We've been on the program since we were 18 in the year 2000. You're not going to tell us shit. And what they did back here in 2007, 8, and 9 is fucking disgusting. And how these nasty fucking teeny boppers and pieces of shit around here have been fucking playing games and profiting from the abuse and feeding these fucking channels and YouTubers child and animal pornography that's fake and real. And it's amazing how these real ones make them think it's fake and we're just lying and making stuff up. We're just jealous. It's fucking sick how many years this shit has gone on with you fucking nasty cunts. I'd pack your shit and get the fuck out of here. I'd sell your fucking businesses too if I were you. 1, 2, 3. You know who the fuck we're talking about. You're not welcome here in Augusta, Maine. We know what you've been doing and we've been watching. And to the rest of you fucking nasty citizens involved with some of these state workers and traffickers who think you're so fucking cool and providing a service to fucking junkies, you nasty pieces of shit. I'd wake the fuck up if I were you. Pack your shit and get the fuck out of here. The proper authorities need to step in and help these kids that are in the custody of Michael Scott Garand and his sick fucking mother. They tried to kill me, and he beat up a little boy in the tub, and the abuse that we witnessed and that we know has gone on with our youngest 2 children, that is unspeakable and horrific. We went to Canada in 2017 trying to get help, when we saw how blind people still were and how scary that was for us after what had already happened. And then in 2017, when they pulled that fucking shit and they decided to call the ghost hunters and tell me that the abuse I'm concerned about with my daughter and other things going on is all in my head and I better stop talking like that or they're going to lock me up. Yeah, that's when we took a trip to Canada, motherfuckers. You can check it out. And when you see how the state workers and other people try to play that off, right, Mr. Chase? Mr. David Chase from Canada? How about Mr. David Hopkins from California? You guys want to help explain that stuff? And then how you